Speaking of that, MJ, do you got us?
Yeah, turn it the other way. Yeah, I got you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Welcome to the show. You're on another night in the Mountain West Live with Tom Moser and Jeff Grammer. Congratulations on a hard-fought victory. So let me start with this one. You guys are down 10 at the half. Admittedly, I'm sure you would say the same thing. You guys didn't play very well. I know Coach had you guys in the locker room for pretty much the entirety of the halftime. What was it that he said? What was the message? And what did you guys really kind of focus on in that last 10 minutes that got you over the finish line?
He told us that the game wasn't over. He said if we're going to be fighters, then we got to come out and punch them in the mouth right now. That's what we did. We had to take it possession by possession. Our defensive intensity, picked up. We knew that they couldn't beat us if we limit them from three. I think in the first maybe 4 or 5 minutes, they hit maybe 5, 6 threes. We just kind of changed everything, made sure we made a focal point on rebounding and, of course, on the offensive end, moving the ball. We knew they were kind of not that good in the paint, so we just attacked the paint and, just let the game come to us in the second half.
MJ, this is Jeff Grammer with the Albuquerque Journal. Cover the Lobos primarily, but I definitely follow this whole league, and I'm curious in your position, man. You're in a position where you've obviously been around college basketball now for 4 years, and you're now one of the leaders, though. You're being asked to do things that maybe you weren't being asked to do before. When you're a leader, and you guys had a week that you just had where you guys lost 2 in a row since last week, and before that, you guys were everybody considered at the top, and you guys maybe still consider that, but the rest of the league kind of lost that for a week, right? You guys lose 2 in a row. You guys are behind in a game like tonight. I'm curious what Mason, what some of those older guys that have been around, what you guys are saying in the huddle, or is this a team that doesn't need any of that to be said?
I would say, losing those 2 games kind of humbled us. We was on a similar track when before we lost to South Florida, where we had won, 9 straight. Then, we lost. It kind of reset us. And, we went on another win streak for maybe about 6 or 8. And, losing twice, it kind of made us realize that you can't take anybody lightly. So getting punched in the mouth first, we're going into halftime down 10. We did have a message that we had to wake up, or else our season was pretty much, on the verge of being over with the small margin of error that you have in the mid-major level. Everybody woke up from our freshmen, making mistakes. Him being able to play through those is stuff that we're going to need, when it comes tournament time, being able to play through these mistakes and still finding a way to win. Just sticking together as a team and trusting each other is really the reason that we found a way to win tonight in a hostile environment.
Was hostile environment. Let me ask you this, MJ. You guys were struggling in the half court. I know Coach Calhoun's kind of been on you guys about your execution in the half court. You forced 21 turnovers tonight, and that led to 24 points. What was it defensively that you guys looked to take advantage of, and really kind of how did you force that amount of turnovers against a veteran guard lineup of CSU?
Well, I think we had 10 at halftime, if I'm not mistaken. But we didn't really capitalize off of them, getting out of transition. So the second half, we stuck to the game plan that we should have, done the whole game, which was, kind of forcing the action away from the middle, having our hand up to make sure that they couldn't get their actions going to the middle. And then we made an adjustment by squeezing doubling B-Rock on the inbounds and making somebody else bring it up to start their offense. We picked up our pressure, our intensity, and no team likes pressure. I'm just being honest. Those are reasons that, of course, we've lost our last 2 games. And we kind of relayed that message, and we brought it out to them in the second half, and we ended up coming back to win.
Hey, Carson was a big part, at least finishing some of that in that run, in the flurry that really got you guys from behind and over the top, and it really seemed to just change the tone of the game there in that final 8 minutes. Really, it was Carson Templin finishing like 3 dunks, I think, in like a 5 possession span.
Yeah,
I'm curious when Carson Templin gets a little flurry like that, what it does for this team, and we see it. But I'm curious what you guys are all saying. Are you guys like feed him, or just kind of get out of his way? What's it like when Carson Templin has one of those little flurries?
We know Carson is our energy booster. He's full of energy. So when he gets those plays like that, it boosts our whole team. Um, he does the dirty stuff for the team, like getting a huge offensive rebound and calling a timeout, giving us another possession. I honestly say he's the MVP of the night. Him and Gary are the reason that we found a way to win this game. Gary and I haven't been playing good as of late, and it's just good to see when you're on a great team, different people step up. That's what makes our team great. And we just got to look forward to getting to the next two at home and getting back to the top of the league.
And Tom, before you get to the next one, let me do a quick Carson follow up here. Carson Templin is the prototypical Mountain West guy that's annoying for everybody else in the league to play against, and the kind of guy you want on your team, right?
Yes,
Because
sir.
he does the dirty stuff.
Yeah.
How is he in practice? Like in game time, I know you love Carson Templin. In practice, is he diving for balls? Is he doing the same kind of stuff that drives everybody crazy in practice?
Same exact stuff. Diving for the ball. We might be in scout team or walking through something. It's a loose ball. He gonna dive on it. He flop a lot. I'm gonna be honest with you. So we deal with that in practice. Somebody might barely touch him.
It's practice, man.
So yeah, I love playing with him, and he's a joy to be around. So I'm really thankful. I've got to cross paths with everybody on this team.
Listen, MJ, we'll let you go. I got one more quick one here. They showed on coming back from commercial that Coach Stu Morrill came to your practice yesterday. He was obviously around there long before any of you guys were associated with this program. But what did it mean for you guys to have a legend like Stu Morrill come and address you guys before a game, knowing that he was a big part of Aggie history?
It meant a lot, just those legends and very important people taking the time out of their day, to come and talk to us. It means the world to us, and it shows that he has the utmost respect for us and the program still. I know Coach asked us yesterday, he was like, can anybody guess where he was before Utah State? And, I was like, maybe Colorado State,
Good guess.
and it's just a joy to see everybody come back, to the program, and it really shows the type of family that Utah State has around. So, I'm very thankful.
You guys give him a good reason to come around because you play an exciting style of basketball and you got yourself a nice, huge, as you kind of mentioned, season-saving win. So go share it with your teammates and your basketball program. Good luck next week, and thanks for joining us here on another night in Mountain West.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Appreciate it.